Hello and welcome to the Tigee team. I'm Tigee, your host, and today we have TTT Primetime number 3. We got a lot of fun segments for you guys today, so let's get started. Today I am ranking all of the Star Wars lightsaber duels. So at the bottom here in the bad tier, I have Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul because it's so simple. It only lasts a couple seconds, and to be honest, like it's too fast to even like rank. To be honest, it's just a short little thing, and can barely be considered a lightsaber duel in the first place. The next one we have is Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan in A New Hope. The reason that this one is down here is just because the choreography is just not happening. Because it's like an older thing and technology was not as good back then, it just brings it down because they're just kind of like throwing swords at each other, and it's just not that good. Next we have Yoda versus Count Dooku. So this one, Yoda is basically just like an acrobat, just jumping around, being crazy, which is fun to watch, but overall it's pretty short, and you got some interesting dialogue, but in the end, Count Dooku gets away once again. So really nothing too big happens, but it's still an interesting one to watch for sure. Next we have Yoda versus Palpatine in Episode 3. This one is really fun because, you know, it's like the big good guy of Star Wars versus the big bad guy of Star Wars clashing it out. And that right there is probably why, you know, it's pretty good. Now the reason it's in okay tier is because, like, I don't know, nothing really happens. It's fairly short, and it just doesn't have any standout things really that brings it up like higher than anything else. Next we have Rey versus Kylo Ren, the first time in The Rise of Skywalker. So this one is pretty good. It's really short. It only happens for like maybe a minute, but it's also just intense, and it really like it starts to build up all the action, you know, and it's just building up like all the action to the, you know, finale of the movie and stuff. And overall it has good choreography, has good and interesting dialogue, and really is just more interesting to watch than the ones below it. So next, the last one in okay tier, we have Rey versus Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker. This one is kind of weird because Rey defeats Palpatine by, like, she has two lightsabers in her hands, and she like blocks the lightning and pushes it back at him, and that like destroys him. And really it's just so short, and you know, it looks cool, like the scene looks super cool, but really nothing happens other than it's emotional. You know, it has some good dialogue afterwards, and it's just fun to watch. You know, it's like the climax of the movie, even though it's pretty short, and that's why it's down here. So next we have Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku in Episode 3. So Count Dooku actually dies by Anakin here, and it's like Anakin's first step to the dark side, so that part was pretty interesting, I'd have to say. This one's pretty short. I don't really have much to say about it because I haven't watched it in a while, but, you know, I remember it being really good and fun to watch, at least better than all of these ones. But yeah, not much to say about it. So next we have Luke versus Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. So this one is super high stakes, and I love the music during certain parts of this. It's just so fun to watch. It's just intense and emotional. It's a really, like, a super good finale lightsaber duel, for sure. So the reasons why it's down here is just because, you know, it's not the longest one. It's pretty short, I'd have to say, but it's still interesting and fun to watch. And in the end, like, Darth Vader doesn't die and Luke doesn't defeat him. And really, like, I don't know, it sets up everything perfectly, but like it's just not as interesting as the ones ahead of it. Next we have Kylo Ren versus Finn in The Force Awakens. So the reason why this one is up here is because the environment is just amazing that they're fighting in. It's just a beautiful environment, and of course Finn is this like random dude is fighting this like skilled, like, I don't know, Sith dude. And, you know, it's super interesting and fun to watch. The scene was shot beautifully, the choreography is amazing, and yeah, it's just interesting to watch. So next we have Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones. This one is kind of weird at some parts because it only like shows Anakin and Count Dooku's face, not actually like the lightsabers. It's like a, I don't know, it's just a cringy moment where it's just like zoomed in on their faces, and that part brings it down. The reason why I like it is because it's a pretty long like fight scene, and you know, there's a lot of interesting little things that happen in it. It has good dialogue, and it's like the climax of the movie. So next we have Luke Skywalker versus Kylo Ren. So the reason why this one is up here is because it has my favorite quote from all of Star Wars, but every single time I watch it, I just absolutely love it. It just gives me goosebumps all the time, and I love the line that Luke Skywalker says, and I'm gonna be honest, this scene is just ingenious, and I love it so much. Next, we have Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker in Empire. This one is fun. It's a pretty long scene, and of course, it has Darth Vader saying, like, "Luke, I am your father." So that is definitely a nice touch. It's emotional, intense, and has a lot of things going for it, for sure. It's just a great Star Wars battle, for sure. Next, we have Rey and Kylo Ren versus the Palace Guards, or whatever they're called in The Last Jedi. I don't really know. So this scene is beautiful and fun to watch, for sure. The red room that they're fighting in is just awesome. The choreography is nice and satisfying to watch. And of course, The Last Jedi is my favorite movie, so it already puts it up here. It's just a fun, long, and interesting, and intense and emotional fight scene. Next, we have Rey versus Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. So the environment is once again really awesome, and it's just such a good fight scene because the choreography is amazing. The music is awesome. I love the music in this scene, and just the intensity that it has for like the whole movie. This is the climax of it, and it builds up to this. It's my favorite part of the whole movie. It always is so interesting to watch. Next, we have Rey versus Kylo Ren in Rise of Skywalker. So, they're fighting on the Death Star runes, which already makes it really interesting. And, like, I don't know, I wish they had Duel of the Fates in the background, but of course they don't, which is kind of sad. But really, this is like a long lightsaber duel, and, you know, it just, I think, like, the number one reason why I like it is just because it's a really long one compared to the others. And, like, the environment that they're fighting in is even better than the environment in The Force Awakens in this lightsaber duel. So we have Duel of the Fates. So this is Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in Episode 1. This one is fun to watch for sure. Has a lot going for it. The music is amazing. It's intense, emotional, and it's one of the longest fight scenes in all of Star Wars for sure. And that is definitely why it's up here. It's just so fun to watch. And at number 1, we have Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Episode 3. So the choreography in this is awesome. They spent a lot of time getting it just right, and it's just fun and awesome to watch, I'd have to say. Of course, Obi-Wan wins. It's the big finale to the prequel trilogy. And yeah, that's basically all I gotta say about that. So this is my ranking of every single Star Wars lightsaber duel. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to post your ranking down below. Alright, so next we have another cringe moment from my past in the Tigee team's history. So this comes from Season 4, Episode 1. It was probably the worst ending to a video that I've ever done. I'm gonna let you guys watch it here in a little bit. It's just kind of weird, and like, I didn't know what to say, so I like advertised my channel trailer for 2020. And, like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I didn't know how to end videos well back then. And also, I say, like, I'm sorry you guys heard something in the background, when you actually can't hear anything in the background. Of course, I didn't know that. Like, during recording, like, I could hear something in the background. But, like, when you're watching the video, normally you can't hear anything in the background. So I, like, make it worse by, like, saying that when you can't hear anything. I don't know, it's just a funny moment. Of course, my voice is so much higher. So yeah, I'll let you guys listen to it.
Sorry if you hear something in my background, but, yeah. So, yeah, just check out that trailer there, and, yeah, just stay tuned for Season 4, I guess. So, I'm Tigee, and goodbye, everyone.
I would like to thank Burning DK Sports Drink for sponsoring this video here today. So, Burning DK Sports Drink is a company that sells sports drinks for Mario Kart players. So let's just say you're a Mario Kart driver just going around, you start to feel a little bit tired and you still have a long day ahead of you with some races. So why not take a Burning DK Sports Drink to get your energy back up so you can race for even longer. The price is fairly cheap, it's only 100 coins per pack. And every pack comes with 5 Burning DK Sports Drinks. Again, I'd like to thank Burning DK for sponsoring this video. So for this segment, we are going to be answering the simple question of which LEGO game has the best driving out of these 5. So I have personally chosen LEGO City Undercover to have the best driving, and here's why. So in LEGO City Undercover, I think it has the best driving compared to everything else. And the first reason is because of the customization options. So when you're driving around LEGO City, and when you spawn in a new car, you can change the color of the car that you're spawning in. Like here, I could be just spawning this blue buzzer right here, but as soon as I click on it, I can change the color to whatever I want to. And that is such a nice customization option. And along with that, there's just like hundreds and hundreds of vehicles in this game. LEGO City Undercover is massive compared to a lot of other LEGO games. And I think it has the best driving because of the customization options and just how many there are. Now, for the controls are pretty similar to LEGO The Incredibles. So, you know, LEGO Incredibles has pretty good driving, I'd say. But it's not as good as this just because of customization. But for the controls, it's fun, and you can just kind of go around. It's not too hard to control either. Another thing that really helps LEGO City Undercover with its driving is the fact that you have Nitro. So I can press Y on Nintendo Switch, and I can go super fast. And that is a really, really, really neat feature. And a game like LEGO Incredibles just does not have that. LEGO DC Supervillains has really, really weird controls, so that one's already out of there. LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 has pretty decent driving. I'd say it's similar to both LEGO The Incredibles and LEGO City Undercover. It just doesn't have as fun of vehicles, I'd have to say. And then LEGO Worlds is kind of just weird. I'd say the controls are also just not as satisfying, and there's not as many customization options as LEGO City Undercover. So, that is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section if you've played these LEGO games. What is your favorite LEGO game in terms of driving? Alright, so that is all for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed TTT Primetime number 3. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the Tigee team if you haven't yet. And as always, thank you for viewing. Goodbye, everyone.